Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I am your host, Midnight Sun, and today we start in our new home. If you remember properly, when we were a kid we started in Kokiri Forest, and oh goodness. Okay, Death Mountain's not looking so hot. Well, Sheik did mention that there was one of the sages on top of a high mountain, so I guess we'll be solving that problem at some point. Anyway, yes, the Temple of Time is our new home, whereas our treehouse was our old one. And Hyrule Castle Town is not looking so good. I mean, the townsfolk were not really doing all that much before, and they kind of all look the same, but this is going a bit too far. This is different. Yeah, now that when you come out here, re-dead appear, and I just kind of wanted to see what they did, because they walk over towards one of the dead once you've killed them, and it turns out that they don't bend down and eat them. They just, you know, gather around it, and then they walk away once they disappear. Fortunately, we don't really need to worry too much about them, because even though they're really freaky, you know, not too much of a threat. Anyways, we decided that we should probably take Sheik's advice and go to Kakariko Village. So, it's a little dark and foreboding out here. It's gonna be unpleasant. Oh! It cleared up! Alright. Well, even though things look pretty dark, like when we approach it, Hyrule Castle looks pretty evil now. Even though things are still looking kind of dark when you're near Hyrule Castle Town, at the very least, Hyrule proper has not changed all that much. One of the things we aren't going to find are pea hats anymore. They all died. They went extinct. And this is what Saria has to say at the moment. Nothing that important. Let's keep on going up towards Kakariko here. But yeah, like I said, overworld, pretty much the same. Oh jeez, Navi. I just talked to you. I wish the game at the very least made it so when you talk to Navi via Saria's song, she wouldn't trigger for a while. On your up C. Welcome to Kakariko Village once again. There's no more Clock Soldier, which is unfortunate. He was a pretty cool guy. But there is something different about this place. It has been 7 years. All the construction is complete, and some of the people who were able to get away from the Hyrule Castle attack, you know, I guess once Ganondorf decided, oh, hey, I'm going to be real evil now that I have the Triforce, they managed to escape and they went to Kakariko Village, and these two guys are still here, and they're still saying things that are pretty important. Alright, this guy said that Dampe the Gravedigger had some kind of treasure, and the treasure is in red, so it can't be anything unimportant. We might as well go to the graveyard and have a look around. You'll see a few more of the people, like that old dude, whom we have seen before in Hyrule Castle Town, and also the Kuko girl, whom we saw in one of our collection videos. Everybody's still here, and Navi's still being annoying. The graveyard, again. We should probably be respectful, but we're not gonna be. There's a little clue here that you can pick up. Dampe the Gravedigger was very careful about what he did. He hid all the clues to his treasure within his erotic writing. You see, his stretching, shrinking keepsake, and he's waiting for us. Ooh, in his grave. Yeah, basically, he wrote a really provocative message that would make most people just wince. I mean, that guy wasn't exactly, you know, candy for the eyes. But if we look around, there's one extra grave, the one down there that we can see. We've been in there before. And if there's something in front of the graves, like right there, we're also posed in the graveyard now, by the way. But if there are these little, you know, plants right in the front, that means that there's something underneath there. You should probably pull back the grave. So we caught us a Poe, and, you know, I don't think I've done this in the recent past. But let's see what Poes do when you catch them in a bottle and you drink them. Losing one heart, like I just did there, is the most common thing that will happen. Sometimes you actually gain hearts, and sometimes you lose a massive amount of hearts. We're in a mysterious place, a rather nice grave for a gravekeeper. And there's Dampe, floating around. And apparently he's fast now, even though he was kind of stuttering in his steps before. So he wants to race us somewhere. Kind of, you know, this is just a little side mini-game thing. We can actually repeat this if we want to. But for right now, it's a necessity that we do it in... Oh dear, yeah. He has a way of throwing his flames into the path that you really want to take. Or at least making it so that you think twice about taking the faster route, like taking that quick corner. It's not too hard. And it's really difficult to fail. It's really, really difficult to fail. Like, if you don't make it through this, even like your first time around, chances are you are running into a lot of fire like I am right now, or you just took wrong turns because you were curious, or you saw rupees. Because actually, some of these paths do have rupees, but you can't go down them. If you take those paths, you will die. So we're just falling behind, and we have this gigantic chasm here. We have to run around. So Dampe being able to fly, you know, a ghost and everything is kind of, you know, he has hacks. We are always going to lose this race. I made a few mistakes. I could have gotten here a few seconds earlier, but, yeah. 1 minute 9 seconds. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think around a minute is the fastest you can do it. Like, really, if you can get yourself down to like 1 minute 3 seconds, you really optimized your path. Anyway, the stretching, shrinking keepsake that he talked about, it's not something he's hiding in his pants, it's something that he's just hiding in his grave. It's something called the hookshot. Okay, he'll give us something cool. When he says something cool, he basically just means rupees. I'm pretty sure that's all there is to find down here if we do it again. Ah, I was a little bit off. I love it when the chest appears and you're on top of it. Unfortunately, yeah. And I thought maybe that now that we were under the grave, she might have something new to say, but no, obviously nothing new to say. But I was a little bit off, so I was inside the chest instead of on top of it. However, something was inside the chest, and that's the hookshot. It's a spring-loaded chain. It's basically your equivalent of the boomerang. As an adult. It does have a few differences. First of all, it doesn't curve around, so it can't, like, get to enemies or things that are behind, you know, barricades and walls and such. However, even though it just shoots straight ahead, it can hook us into... Oh, he did mention something about being careful getting back. Oh, dear. There's this block in the way. Oh, gosh. Oh, dear. Wait a minute, but Navi has something to say about this block. Let's see what it is, huh? Why, yes it is. When I first played this game, by the way, this is one of those points where I kind of shut down the game and went from the place I last saved. Because I really believed that I had screwed something up. I was really stupid as a kid. I even had a strategy guide, but even now I try not to use strategy guides. I've always stuck to that. Where do we end up? After we get that... Oh yeah, by the way, that block there, I kind of didn't explain it. It was pretty self-explanatory, though. You play the Song of Time near that thing, and ba-boom, you get out of there. It's pretty cool. That'll all just do. If you ever see one of those blocks, play the Song of Time, ba-boom, it's out of the way. Sometimes you actually need them to finish puzzles. Oh, piece of heart. Wait, two? Two. Where did I collect the first one? I've been trying to keep it in my mind not to collect those things, but where did I get the first one, then? Oh well, I'm sure I'll figure it out at some point when I'm going around looking for them all. I'll visit some place or some person and they'll be like, yep, you already did this. What's this guy's malfunction? He's really angry. Ocarina Kid, though. Ocarina... Uh-oh. 7 years ago, Ocarina Kid? Uh-oh. This Ocarina? Maybe? Yeah, this thing here you might think is unimportant. Maybe you think it's a little bit, unnecessary that I'm doing this, but actually it is really necessary that you do this. Well, it's not essential, but for what we're going to be doing, it is going to be essential, because we're not, like, doing a full minimalistic run. We're doing an actual, factual, we're playing the game here run. Anyway, he's pretty angry about some Ocarina Kid that came in here 7 years ago and played a song that we just played now, the Song of Storms, and it made the windmill go really, really fast. Really, really fast. And now he's rather upset with us too. If we talk to him again, by the way, yeah, if you zoom in there, if you If you lock on, you don't actually twist. Or maybe you do twist, actually. You do twist to keep on looking at that particular direction. Anyways, now that we have our hookshot, we can make our way into the forest, where Sheik wanted us to go, so... Wait, what am I doing? Okay, for some reason I decided to play Saria's... Oh, I guess I wanted to hear what Navi had to say now that we officially are out of the grave. Oh, I'm sure you are. And we are too, so let's go there right now. Like I said before, there's nothing new in the overworld, so yeah, here we are. Heading into the forest. Same thing, blah blah blah, everything looks nice, but now we're not in the overworld anymore, and oh dear. We've arrived in Kokiri Forest. The place we used to call home, and we are... This actually would have been the first time that we'd be seeing the large Deku Babas. Right here, the big Deku Babas. It's kind of a weird experience, knowing that this isn't the first place that we actually saw in the Deku Tree. For some reason, my sword is refusing to hit it most of the time. So, basically, 7 years hasn't really treated this place too well, and the fact that the Deku Tree is, you know... Oh, gosh, no, we're not going in there. The fact that the Great Deku Tree died, you know, the protector of the forest, that's certainly not going to help their situation in any kind of way when, you know, the greatest evil that Hyrule has ever seen is walking along the street, and he's like, oh, I see a forest, and we've already, you know, witnessed the way he just kind of likes to hand out curses. Thankfully, they haven't put our house up for rent yet, or given it to a different Kokiri, so we still have that at least. But let's check in Saria's house. From what I remember, she's in the Forest Temple. However, somebody else is occupying it for safety. I have, actually. Well, I might know somebody. Well, I didn't do something wrong. I just couldn't do something right enough. It depends on how you look at it. Basically, yeah, so Saria is not in her house, and because she's not in her house, and she's the only person that we really want to talk to around here, because everybody else was either A, a jerk, or B, was just giving us useless advice, we're gonna go find her. Thankfully, we managed to avoid seeing Mido. And here's another Deku Scrub. We don't need to see him, though. We need to head into the Lost Woods, because through the Lost Woods we will find the Sacred Forest Meadow, and beyond that, well, beyond that, there should be something. The Sacred Forest Meadow is really the only place in here that has any kind of strange structure. Well, besides that, but we know where that leads, right? And that thing over there, and oh, no. Oh, no, not again. I thought I was done with you in your midsection. Ugh. Kokirish clothing. Well, actually, funny story about this clothing. I wasn't originally wearing this. An old dude put it on me. Yeah. So apparently, you know, Saria said that I should only let that Mido should only let her friends through there. We would go into Zora's domain there, but it looks rather mysterious around that portal. So let's do something that proves that we know Saria. Why don't we? Kind of put this kid in his place. I mean, we are an adult now. We do have a much larger sword. Wink, wink. We could just slice him in half, but that's no fun. Let's you know, stick it to him intellectually instead of physically. See, Saria only taught her that song to her friends. Now he has to trust us. Apparently, Mido remembers somebody. I'm sure we can figure out who. I gotta wonder. Yeah, he just kind of repeats that same last line over and over again if you talk to him. Maybe you gotta wonder if he kind of regrets all the stuff that he said to Harvey because, you know, even though he didn't particularly like us, he certainly didn't want to get rid of any Kokiri. I'm sure he was just trying to be the boss. And when you get rid of somebody, you're no longer their boss. And now we get a bit of repeated advice from Navi. Well, actually, this would be repeated advice if we had played the normal Dodongo's Cavern, where she says you need to look around corners using L targeting, or it would have been Z targeting back in the day. But, you know, L targeting, blah. Alright. Basically, we can just use that to look around corners. And actually here that is pretty useful because there are these guys. And if you don't handle them properly, they're kind of annoying. They do this. Yeah, I was an idiot. I actually did think that would work. And then I also thought this would work. Yeah? I'm good at video games, right? Anyways. But basically, those big pig people, they're guarding these corridors, and you need to kill them with your hookshot. Nothing else will be able to kill them. They run too fast for you to use your sword. I think you might be able to stun them with a Deku Nut. However, I did not try that this time around. Probably should have. Deku Nuts are pretty awesome. But, you know, even though not Link, who's this Link person? Even though Harvey is a lefty, he uses his right hand, so keep that in mind when you're trying to aim around corners. Like that last one was easy because I had my right hand around it, but this one's not so much. You know, first of all, we're putting our hand through a wall. That never helps. Second of all, this thing is too short. It would be a long shot trying to hit him from there, right? It would be a long shot because, you know, it's basically impossible, so it's a very, you know... Never mind. Those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. So, we just, you know, basically get rid of... Ooh, gold skull slot. We get rid of those guys there, and we can make our way through here. Now, you might think yourself mighty and awesome for getting through all those orcs. But there's one more. The big one. And he's something. If you did what I did right there just to show it, and you let that thing hit you, it will launch you all the way back. But don't have any hesitation, because otherwise that'll happen. He swings that thing a lot faster than you might expect him to. So you just keep on running. Deku Nuts don't affect this guy, at least. And then you roll behind him. You know, not too difficult. Not too difficult. A couple of jump attacks dispatch him, and he also drops a large number of rupees. So if there's ever anything that you need rupees for, and you need to farm them, this is one of the places you can go. You can, as an adult, it's a lot easier to farm rupees. And now I'm just going to let the game take over. You know, some people have made comments about this game that its storyline isn't all that complex, but, you know, it doesn't really need to be all that complex. The things that it tries to get across its messages, it does with, you know, profound little statements like the ones that Sheik makes. Anyways, next time on Let's Play Legend of Zelda Master Quest, we get into the Forest Temple. It's a complicated little maneuver, so I don't really have time to do it now. I will see you then.